Season 2, Chapter 4, Austrian Grand Prix. After being dropped by AlphaTauri for one race, Malachi Wilson is back for the Austrian Grand Prix. After a solid qualifying performance seeing him barely miss out on Q3, a safety car gives him a chance to make a one-stop strategy work, despite the fact this power unit may not actually make it to the checkered flag.
Welcome to the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. It's just about time to go to the track for the beginning of the race, but before we do, Anthony Davidson, what types of strategy do you think we can expect for today's event?
Well, there's a lot that both the driver and the team have to keep in mind when going into a race. The tyres, fuel, energy recovery systems, the list goes on and on. But I think the key to today's victory will come down to the pit stop strategy. Come in too soon and you might find yourself needing more than one stop. Too late and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by spending longer on worn tyres.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Carlos Sainz and Bottas, Leclerc, Giovinazzi, Gasly and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Wilson, George Russell and Stroll, Eilert, Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher and Guan Yu Zhou, Tsunoda and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Safety car has been deployed here. Out comes Russell back onto the racetrack. He's driving up right behind the safety car and he's hit the safety car. Unbelievable from George Russell. A terrible driver error there, putting him out of the Austrian Grand Prix, and that will definitely make this safety car go on for a little bit longer. Strategy could definitely open up here for some of these guys in the back of the pack. In come both AlphaTauri cars into the pits now. A strange option in the way of strategy, choosing to double stack the cars. We'll have to see if it pays off. Malachi Wilson makes his way in for his first, what should be potentially his only stop of the race. He's going to a set of medium tyres. Whether he can run those to the end, we're not quite sure. We'll have to see what he can do in the way of tyre management in order to see if he can get these tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. Alright, so we've been given an absolutely golden opportunity here under the safety car to switch to medium tyres. Hopefully those should get us to the end of the Grand Prix. We may have a serious loss in tyre grip again, but it might be worth it, as our objective now is to outclass the pack and finish in 6th place or better. Now remember, this is our first race back since our one race ban for the French Grand Prix. We're starting with AlphaTauri once again, but we're about to get underway as soon as we can here. So
okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
Regardless, we're still pushing on here. Bottas pulling over to the right and the left, moving back and forth. And there he goes off the track. I think that might be it for Valtteri Bottas. That puts him out of the race.
Okay, some information on Bottas. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Alright, so we're not quite sure what the issue is with Bottas, but he's out of the race. That puts us up to 10th place. So already back inside the World Championship points. We've got work to do here in this second phase of the Grand Prix. I reckon we can definitely do it. So let's see what happens. Starting just with Sainz just in front of us as we get ready to go back underway again. Prepare to resume racing. Still no overtaking. Waiting for that green flag. And they're going to the last corner. Open up the ERS and fire it away. Here we go. The Austrian Grand Prix is back underway on lap 17. Our first target, Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Nicholas Latifi in the Williams just in front of him. Of course, Latifi's lost his teammate George Russell earlier on in the Grand Prix, which didn't bring out the safety car, but Russell crashed into it and left things going for a lot longer than they should have. So Sainz still gives it a chase against him. Let's even go for a dive from up the hill into turn number 3. There we've got the inside of Latifi as well. Guan Yu Zhou locks him in front. We've managed to take 2 places just like that, and that shoves us up into P8. So we've still got work to do here, but we've definitely got a fighting chance of doing well in this Grand Prix. So coming towards further into lap 17, a couple of corners later, we're all over Guan Yu Zhou trying to find an opening against the Alfa Romeo driver, and now in his second season for Formula 1 racing. We're trying to find a way around him. There we go on the right hand side. We've got enough in it. We've used all our ERS to blow for the lap, but we've managed to find a way past him anyway. Looks like he's trying to come into the pits. We've got quite a few guys going into the pits. Both Cameron and Lance Stroll and the Aston Martins are making their way in. So that'll promote us to P5 once that cycles through. That's very nice there.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.2 seconds.
So of course Lewis is our next target. We're coming around to the end of lap 18. There's Carlos Sainz and Ferrari is right there with us, trying to take 5th place back. He's going to have the DRS this time now. It's been enabled. So he's a huge advantage. We've got the ERS as well. That's been building up. That's up to just over 80% at this point. We're going to fire out the overtake mode, and that should neutralise the threat from Sainz behind us, but only briefly, because he's still going to have that tow and the DRS with it down this next straight as well. So I have to be very careful of that. We've overshot the corner slightly. Didn't go as much on the curves as I might have liked. Sainz, though, is almost a half second behind, though, thanks to that ERS, thanks to the better exit we got. But he's closing back in again now, but he's not close enough. Regardless, pushing on to lap number 20 now. Here comes Sainz with the DRS. He's making a big time attack. It takes 5th place away, but we have the DRS now going through turn 1. We get him on the outside. There's a slight bit of contact there. We take the DRS and we enable our ERS, and that subsequently gives us the power just to actually push away from Sainz. So we're gaining an advantage now. It's about half a second we go into the corner. We've way overshot it though. We've gone super wide, and on rejoining, Sainz is now right there on our right hand side. We've lost the DRS. Sainz now is it. We're going to have to use our ERS in order to stay with him. We're going to try and dive to the inside if we can. Are we close enough? We're going to try it. Is it enough? Nope. Safer just to back out for the time being and try and set up a move later on. We've got to be careful though, because our teammate Pierre Gasly on those soft tyres is right behind us. He's going to be very careful here to make our way through Sector 2. Still closing on Sainz. I was trying to close on Sainz. He's getting away from us. We'll definitely manage to stay within DRS range thanks to the use of the ERS, which will enable now for the rest of Sector 2 and all of Sector 3 if we can. But the deploy will no doubt stop, so we're going to have to shut it off for the time being. We'll redeploy it when we get back on the straight. For the last corner, we come down back towards the line, the DRS open and the ERS on to start lap number 21 with Austrian Grand Prix. We're closing back in on Sainz, the gap now within half a second once again. We're definitely making that move down this next straight with the ERS and the DRS as well. Gasly is no threat behind us. We're going to try and close on Sainz as best we can here. So down the straight we come. What a run we get. Go to the right and then fake to the left. And then we go around the outside of him into turn 3. We set a purple sector 1 in the process. We've got around the outside of Sainz. What a move that was. What a great battle that was between us and the Spaniard in the Ferrari. So pushing further on now to the end of lap 22. Sainz and Gasly are still right there with us. Lando Norris though in the pit. So he's going to most likely change onto a set of medium tyres, and those should get him to the end of the Grand Prix. Not quite sure what he'll go for. I think he'll probably go for the mediums. I think might be going for the softs here. Oh no, sorry, that is the mediums. My bad. But that puts us up into P4. Sainz pit as well, so it's just us and Gasly out here for the time being. The Hamilton Perez still up there in front of us. In comes Verstappen now, and into lap 24 into the pit lane, and Gasly's coming in behind us as well. So we're now all alone now. The gap between us and Charles Leclerc and the other Ferrari, 1.5 seconds. And then it'll put us up into 3rd place here, so we're up on the podium as Verstappen will be rejoining in just a moment. He'll be around 2.5 seconds behind us. So we're still making steady progress here and push towards the end of lap number 25. Perez is pitting and Lewis Hamilton is pitting, and we're within range of those two. They're going to go for a second stop, I believe. It is their second stop. The majority of them may stops under the safety car. We're trying to make the one-stop work here, so we are actually going to take the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix here. Again, lap number 26, and the objective has changed now. The objective is now to finish the job and place in the top 3, so we're on course to try and take the podium finish.
First position, front of the pack. Verstappen is behind you. Our gap behind is 1.2 seconds.
So Verstappen's breathing down our necks, and by the end of the lap, he's already caught us on those medium tyres. He's a lot faster, he's got the faster car, and he's got the fresher tyres. So I'm going to feel like Lewis Hamilton and Abu Dhabi on the last lap last season. But here we go to the last corner. The current world champion, both in real life and in the Prodigy, making his way past us on the main straight. We've got the ERS deployed, but it's not enough to help stop him sneaking past us. We're going to have the DRS now down through turn 2 and down up towards turn 3. Excuse me, I couldn't really tell which way I was going. We've got the ERS and the DRS deployed, and once again, same with Sainz. A couple of laps ago, we've managed to get the run on Verstappen, and this time we haven't overshot it as much. We lose the back end of the car slightly, come out the corner. Verstappen's going to have DRS, we have the ERS, so Verstappen's not going to get away as much as he might like, but it might be enough. We might have to go for a move here in order to keep ourselves in the fight and try and go around the outside, but there's just not enough room to make a move. So Verstappen has got us here and he's getting away. I definitely don't see how we'll be able to hold him up for 10 laps in order just to try and win the race. But so it does look like our chances of winning this thing are over. We're trying to keep pacing them as much as we can, but it's a fruitless exercise. So our efforts are actually on stopping Perez, Norris and Hamilton behind for the rest of the race to ensure that we complete the objective and finish on the podium. So pushing on now, midway through lap 28.
Okay, we have an issue with the control electronics box. that's going to do additional damage to all other power unit components.
And that doesn't sound very good considering that we've got MGUK problems. That thing could potentially wear out on us come the end of the Grand Prix. We've got bigger problems right now. Perez is looking around trying to make a move. He's on the inside. We're going to give him the space. And there's contact, and Perez just shoved us there. So Perez tries to make a move on the inside. We did kind of cut him off there. But instead of backing out, then he chose to keep on pushing. He's broken part of his front wing, I believe. So that's going to put him a huge disadvantage. He'll most likely pit for repairs here. So we have to take partial blame for that. But unfortunately, there wasn't much we could have done there. We were taking our line and then we kind of just drove into Perez. So of course, apologise on that front, but there's really nothing we can do with it at this point. The race has got to keep pushing on. The start of lap number 29. Norris now up into 3rd place. Hamilton now up into 4th. So moving further on to the end of lap 29. Norris is now within just over half a second behind us as we begin lap number 30. We have 7 laps left to hold on to this thing. It's not over yet, so we've still got a lot of work to do here in these last couple of laps. Norris has DRS on us. He's most likely going to try and take 2nd place away from us. We're going to try and hold on to it as best we can. Norris there on the left-hand side, we're giving the space. He's going to have to go around the outside, going through turn 3. Here we go underneath him, and that should be enough. We kind of lose the back end of the car on the exit of the corner. We've managed to get away though, so all nice and clear on that front. We've got to be careful because Roos is there. He jumped to 3rd by the start of lap 32, and now he wants to run at us in the Mercedes. So Verstappen continues to cruise on in front of us. A good 10 seconds advantage now as he storms towards the race victory. We're stuck to defend against Lewis and Lando at the same time. 2 Brits battling a fellow Brit here, but Lewis doesn't have enough with the DRS for the time being, thanks to our ERS advantage. We've gone a bit over good bit on the curve there on the exit of turn 3. Lewis is going to pretty run at us. He's going to try to the right hand side, and we're going to block him off. He's going to try on the left now, and even the ERS isn't enough for us to stop him getting past. We've got the inside though. We'll go later on the brakes than he does, and we managed to get away with it. So off the exit of the corner, we've managed to take back P2, and Lewis is dropping back here. Norris is looking to the inside, just behind them. So keeping a brief eye on this battle. It does look like Norris is going to take 3rd place back. So good on him, he's managed to get himself back up into the podium places. We move on to the start of lap number 35, and Lewis has fought back up into 3rd. Now he wants to go once again for the 2nd spot, and Charles Leclerc is closing in as well. There may be a train starting to form in these last couple of laps. Hamilton's on the chase here. He looks to the right hand side, given the space, just about almost shut him off. If we'd shut him any more, that would have been both of us out of the race there. Lando's trying to move, going to block him off and try to go late on the brakes against Lewis. We're on the inside, no contact made, almost lost the back end. We're all good. We can see the 2 Ferraris and Giovinazzi and the other McLaren closing in on us. It's not over yet though. We've still got to keep holding on for 1 more lap here as we come across the line to begin the 36th and final lap of this Austrian Grand Prix. Lewis is around trying to find a loop, and Lando jumps into 3rd. He's trying to make his way through in turn 1. We've managed to get away with it though. They're going to have the DRS on us. There's going to be 1 late charge. And to make matters worse, here comes the smoke out the back of the car. The MGUK might not make it. It might make it. We practically got pushed up the hill there towards turn 3. Lando's looking around. Lewis is dropping back slightly. Giovinazzi's up there in 5th place now. Here comes Leclerc as well. Those 2 are battling for position. I assume Carlos Sainz is with them. We're getting away here, but not by much because Lewis is still less than half a second behind. Verstappen 18 seconds in front of us is entering sector 3 for the final time. We're struggling to defend from just trying to defend our 2nd place here as much as we can. Lewis is looking around. Let's try and cover him off as best we can. Nice and legal here, keeping it on the track. Nice and smooth. Lewis covered with the smoke spewing out the back of our AlphaTauri, that continues on, ever trying to push us out of 2nd place, but I don't think he'll be able to do it. He's essentially got 1 last chance here. He won't look to the outside. We're going to hold him off here. 2 more corners to go. I think we might have just done it to make our way to the last turn now. It's going to be our 2nd podium finish in Formula 1, taking 2nd place, once again matching our best finish as well. Unbelievable stuff.
You stepped up and achieved what we asked.
Good job. Absolutely great race, and a great way to return to the AlphaTauri fold after our 1 race ban. After that crash in Baku, I think we may have definitely redeemed ourselves there. Regardless, Verstappen dominated the last stage of the race, took the lead away from us. It could have been a first victory if we'd held them off, but I really don't see us being able to pull that one off. So Red Bull taking the victory there. We'll let the senior team have this one. But yeah, it was really exciting stuff there. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to smash the like button and leave me a comment telling me how much you enjoyed the race and what was your favourite moment about it, because I really enjoyed this one. I hope you did. But yeah, we are. Malachi are back up on the podium. The last time we were on the podium was Bahrain, the opening race of 2022. So going for the final results here, Verstappen wins it from us in 2nd place. There's Lewis in 3rd, Lando in 4th place. Charles Leclerc comes on 5th for Ferrari. Giovinazzi came back in 6th. Sainz 7th. Gasly finished 8th. So decent haul of points for AlphaTauri. Perez came home 9th in the end, so wasn't quite as lucky as he might have wanted to be. And it's Ocon in 10th. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button as well, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye, guys. The car had smoke spewing out as it crossed the finish line, but Malachi Wilson has managed it. An incredible second place finish on return to the F1 paddock. This is just the kind of momentum he needs heading to Silverstone to impress in front of the home crowd.